Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Joykendi here if you don't recognize me because I got her. New hair, who dis? New hair. New hair, who dis? Anyway, sorry. So welcome back to my channel. So I am doing a Q&A video. And by the way, I'm going to be brushing my hair a lot with my hands just because I've not had hair in a couple of years. This feels fantastic. So much fun. Anyways, so thank you guys for coming back to my channel and being patient with me. Life's hard. I'm struggling. Anyways, so this is a Q&A video. I asked you guys on my Instagram and my Facebook to ask me questions that you want me to answer, and I'm gonna do it. So I think we're just gonna get started, you know what I'm saying? Because I got hair and stuff. Yes. Okay, so I think I'm just gonna start by just answering as many questions as I can, or as many questions I screenshotted as possible. So question number one, the glow on your skin, tell us a secret. I've already done a skincare routine on this, guys. It's somewhere here, and I'm going to put the link down below. Only one thing has changed, which is I now use coconut oil versus the bio oil on my skin. But when it comes to makeup, I've done many makeup routines on my daily makeup routines, and usually my secret is bronzer and setting spray. I swear, MAC setting spray is the best thing that will ever happen to your life. It is amazing. It makes you just look so fresh and so shiny and so dewy, and I'm so into that life. So you guys can check out those videos. By the way, love your curves. Okay, thanks. What happened to workout updates? By the way, you also inspired me to dress up for my size and flaunt my curves decently. Say hi to Jay. So my workout updates, last year I tried getting into a workout routine. It just was not possible because of all the traveling I was doing. You know, I'd be here 1 minute then, and also my schedule usually tends to run very last minute, so it's not like I know that I'm traveling in 7 months. I usually find out, especially if it's within Africa and I don't really need to get a visa, or if the visa process only takes a week, I'll find out that I'm traveling like within a span of like 7 days. So last year I was traveling a lot, so I just physically could not. Every single time I would get into a routine for 2 weeks, I find out that I have to go to Nigeria for 4 days. Then I come back, then I'm like, okay, cool, we're doing this for another 4 days, and then immediately after, oh, you have to go to South Africa. Okay, cool, we're doing this, then you have to go to this place. Like, it was not possible for me at that time. I really want to try again this year, so fingers crossed, doubt it's gonna happen, but you know, YOLO, and you flaunting your curves, girl, do it. Live your life to the fullest. What is your height? I am 5'4". I know I look a lot taller than I am. Low angle shots. Low angle shots make you look real tall. So, actually I think I'm 5'3". Barely making it to 5'4", but my passport says 5'4", so. What do you wish that you would have done in your teens? Is there any, I feel like I did everything that I wanted to do in my teens. There's really nothing. Ooh, I wish that I had started working out at a younger age, because I was fat. I was super fat. There was a time I was around like almost 90 kgs. Like I was a thickens. Like I was a little squishy. It was cute though. It was cute, but I do wish that I had started working out at a younger age, so that it's really natural for me to do it now. What is the biggest lie a guy has ever told you? But the dumbest lie I've ever been told by a guy is when a guy is hitting on you and you tell him, oh, no thanks, I have a boyfriend, and then he says, oh, no, I wasn't trying to hit on you, I just think we should be friends. Let me just explain to the guys why we usually look at that like, wait, what? Here's my argument. Have you, as a man, ever gone to a random man that you do not even know and said, hey, we should be friends? If the answer is no, same thing applies to women. We find it a little bit weird. And we also know that nobody just wants to be your friend just out of nowhere like that. Like, how do you know I'm not crazy? Why would you just want to be my friend like that? That's a little bit weird. What is your biggest pet peeve? How much time you got? I've got okay, I don't have that many. I'm not that picky about certain things, but I do have certain things that irritate me. I cannot stand trolls. I've talked about trolls before in another Q&A that I did like maybe 2 years ago or something like that. I cannot stand trolls, just because in my head I don't understand why you're so angry that you feel the need to spew hate just for the hell of it. Like, were you not hugged enough as a child? Another one of my pet peeves comes with like Instagram models, or like Instagram, whatever you want to call them. You know those girls who, I don't care if you're naked on social media all the time. I don't care. If your body is banging, do you. You're giving me inspiration to hit the gym. I'm never going to hit the gym, but like, I kind of want to. What irritates me is when a girl will post up a picture of herself wearing a thong, no top, covering her boobs like this, and then she puts some like deep Martin Luther King quote. Do not do that. I am more okay if you just said, my body's looking lit today. Hashtag peaches, my butt looks like a peach. Because then I'd just be like, your body is looking banging today. And your butt does look like a peach. In fact, I will comment peach. But don't try to hide the fact that you want to show your new abs with like something that Mother Teresa once said. Don't do it. You're not fooling everybody. And majority of us, 95% of us, are just like, the quote was completely 100% unnecessary. Another thing that irritates me is catcalling. I don't know why men think that we like that. We don't. If I'm walking past a group of men and all of a sudden y'all are like, hey, yo, ma. Do you think I'm gonna turn back and be like, hi. I've been looking for you all my, like, no, we're just like, so irritated. Catcalling is irritating. Guys think it's a compliment. It's not. It's hella annoying. And the worst catcalling situation I ever had is like, I was walking past on my tattoo. That time I had hair and I had my hair in a high ponytail. The guy hits on me and then he proceeds to put his hand like behind my head and then just let my ponytail graze through his hand. Like it just like, and then when it turned around, he was just like, who raised you? Genuine question. Who raised you? Because no woman could have raised you if you do that. Because that's rude and that's disgusting. And don't just touch people. Ugh. And then there was another situation where some guy started like masturbating to me inside. Guys, don't do that. We don't like that either. And they almost got kidnapped at the same time. God, it was so stupid. And no, this is not like a weird YouTuber thing where they over-exaggerate the story. It was actually really, really bad. Like, really bad. Like, my mom called the cops really bad. So, but that's a story for another day. I feel like that should be a story time in and itself, just because, especially with, like, what's happening in the world right now with the Me Too movement and Time's Up and just the shit that we go through as women. I feel like that would be a perfect story for that day. So, would you stay in a satisfying job, a job that makes you happy, even though the work environment isn't that good? Oh, that's complicated. But here's the thing, that the work environment is doesn't that kind of make everything else as well? I mean, that's just me. If it's something that you can ignore, I would definitely just stay in that job and just, you know, scoot away the negative. I'm assuming also that by work environment, I mean you actually mean literal human beings who are being negative Nancy's and being little crapheads. If that's the case, ignore them. It's never that serious. You do you, you grow, you get promoted, you live your life to the fullest. They will eventually get bored and move on to somebody else. To me, it's the same thing as bullies. Just let them be, but stand up for yourself. Your thoughts on grown-ass relationships, any part of it. I don't know what that means. On grown-ass relationships. My thoughts on grown-ass relationships. I need a little bit more. I don't know how to answer that. How do you bounce back after you know that you made a career mistake? I've done a couple of them. I've been fired before for stuff that I don't want to talk about, or actually I don't think I'm allowed to talk about, but now me and that company are cool though, so. But, how do you bounce back? I don't know. Everything, like when that has happened to me, I just, you know, I took that moment. It sucked for a couple of days, but then I looked at it and I was just like, okay, maybe I do understand why I made that mistake or how I made that mistake, and decided to use that more as a learning experience than anything else, and I just never made that mistake again. I guess you suck it up. Life happens. Because if you continue to dwell on that, you're just going to stay in that same level and you're never actually going to grow. So just absorb it, be okay with it, know that you made a mistake, learn from the mistake, and move on and never make that mistake again. There's a video that you did a while back saying that you can't dye your hair. What changed? I shaved my head. Once I shaved my head, I realized, holy crap, I look so boring with short black hair, so then I bleached it blonde, and that was basically it. Would you start your own talk show? I don't know, maybe if the pay was good. How do you balance work and travel? For me, work and travel are the same thing, so I work while I travel. Hi, I love your fashion sense. What do you wear to prevent panty lines from showing? Very, very simple. Number one, thongs. Number two, wearing, if you want, like I personally am not a huge fan of thongs, so you can get the lace panties that are almost like boy shorts, but they have, what's it called? Illusion something. Anyways, those are specifically made to like cut out panty lines, but sometimes you can still see a panty line. If that doesn't work, don't wear panties. Just I'm being very serious. Okay, so first question, skincare routine. I already talked about that. Second question, have you ever had a problem with dark inner thighs and or armpits, and how do you deal with it? I used to have that issue with armpits, and what I discovered is shaving made my armpits look darker. So what I do is I usually use hair removal cream versus shaving. It keeps my armpits from getting dark, and they've actually lightened up over the past couple of years. Inner thighs, I wouldn't know. But I'm pretty sure if you Google it, it's gonna say something about lemon juice. What is a pep talk that you gave your younger self when you were at your very first full-time job? I'm there and I'm losing it. So when my first job that I actually got was in the US, and at that time I had to pay rent. So my pep talk was, "Do you want to leave on the streets?" I didn't want to leave on the streets. Where in Nairobi do you live? Love your apartment. Can you please do a vlog on the interior decor? I'm not very comfortable with that. I've received a lot of questions on that as well. I'm still thinking about it. There's just there's a thing about Kenya, the way a lot of apartments, especially like the newer apartments, are built. They all kind of have a similar structure if they're next to each other. So if I have a, okay, not I have a fear, because I've actually received an email from like a random dude who was like, "Oh, I figured out that you live between this and this area," and I was just like, "Skirt, this is why I'm not gonna put my house there." And he figured it out because of a window. So like my house, the way it's structured, if you get a full house tour, you can kind of get an idea of where I live, and I'm not comfortable with that just because of creepos. Not you guys, but just like specific creepos. So a full house tour probably would not happen, but maybe I'll do a post on like little decor tricks that we've picked up to put the house together. That I can do, but a tour, no. Where do I get my head shaved? I get my head shaved at any barbershop that's next to me when my head is looking like a mess. I do not have one specific barber that I go to every single month. My only trick is I never go to salons just because they consider shaving your head a haircut, so they quadruple the price. Versus if you just go to a barbershop and they just shave your head, it's fantastic. Plus they also massage your scalp and also steam your face. It's basically a facial in any female salon. Fantastic. Oh, and the steaming of the face and the head massage comes with a head shave. Hi, Kendi. I love your work and respect and admire your work as well. I am a former BYOB contestant. I will be coming up with some branded tees on my clothing line. I will send you the sample. Would you be willing to help me market it? Sure. There's a t-shirt. Cute, right? If that was an actual like t-shirt dress, totally would wear it. How do I stay fit? I don't. Hey Joy, I have 2 questions. What happened to your septum ring? It looked so cute on you. Thank you. But it just became a little bit of an issue when I was doing specific jobs, mostly modeling jobs, because I either had to take it out or I'd have to like flip it in. And every time I'd flip it in, either the director or the photographer would be like, "I can still see it. Like I can see a little piece of it. I have to Photoshop it. It's too much work. Just take it off." So after a while, I was just like, it's not working out for me. Do I have any book hacks, especially when you wore the bandage dress when you... Oh, boob hacks. Sorry, you wrote books. Boob hacks, especially when you wore the bandage dress. A little hack with a bandage dress. Number 1, if you're a size 12 and you find somebody who's selling a really good quality bandage dress, get it 1 size to 2 sizes smaller. I prefer 2 sizes. So if you know that you're a medium, just get a small or an extra small. Just because that thing stretches like a mofo and it will snatch you in. I wasn't wearing a bra when I was wearing that dress, and I was in there. I was not moving. It was fantastic. So bandit dress hacks, just always go 2 sizes smaller. Don't get your actual dress size, because then it's not gonna fit you like a glove. Other than that, usually if I have to wear something that needs to look like I'm not wearing a bra, I just make sure that the top half of the dress is hella tight, like hella tight. So if it's not a bandage dress and if it doesn't have that much stretch to it, I'll just take it to my tailor and tell him to just cinch it in, like right in this area. Also, there's another maxi dress that I put up on Instagram a while back. That dress, I couldn't wear a bra with it because it's see-through here and at the bottom, so you would see the bra in between, and also it was backless. So the dress, this area was just really, really tight, so it just held you in. So that's just my biggest hack when it comes to going braless. What has been one regret in achieving the level of fame that you have as a fashion blogger? Number one, I don't think that I have achieved a level of fame. But one regret is I wish that I gotten a better quality camera from the get-go. Like, this camera is really good. And number two, I wish that I had gotten into YouTube 4 years ago, because blogging, it became so natural to me. It was just part of my rhythm. So it got to a point where it was very, very simple. Which I think is also why I kind of got bored with it, which is why I've kind of put it on pause for a little bit, but I'm bringing it back. I'm going to post tomorrow. But YouTube right now, it's taking me a minute to get into that rhythm. I don't know why, but I'm struggling, but I'm trying really, really hard, and I'm going to get my life together. But I wish that I got into YouTube 4 years ago. Okay, so this is a question. I just clustered all of them into one thing because it's basically asking the same thing. How do you make money on social media, blogging, or YouTube? How do you make a living off of that? So let me break this down for y'all real quick. So number one, you need to have a decent following. It doesn't have to be amazing. You don't have to have 1 million followers. You don't have to have 100,000 followers. It doesn't have to be like the biggest number in the world. It does not, or in the country or in the city, wherever you're at. My biggest thing is having a decent number, but having a decent number with an amazing engagement level. So a lot of clients look more at engagement than numbers, versus a couple of years back, especially in Kenya, when people making money off of social media was pretty new. They used to just look at numbers, until a lot of clients and a lot of companies started realizing people were buying numbers. So let's look at people who might have numbers that make sense, but their engagement is really good. And by engagement, it's likes in photos, people commenting. When you do a video, people writing down in the comments below, asking you questions about what you're talking about. That's what I mean by engagement. People who actually engage with whatever you're posting. So a lot of clients, companies, I usually call them clients, but a lot of clients usually look for that. So having a decent number and having really good engagement is the first thing to focus on. After that, having really good quality work, because nowadays there's so many bloggers out there, so many YouTubers, and a lot of them have decent to very good quality. So always making sure that your work is up to par, like amazing quality. And then outside of that, also having really good ideas, really good concepts, always thinking about a different way to promote whatever it is that you're promoting for the client, whether it's makeup, whether it's technology, phones, laptops, cameras, clothing, whatever it is, finding a way to promote that product in a fun, new way that they've not done yet. Once you do that, well, actually, before you get to that, you actually need to be able to get clients who are interested to work with you. So I'm assuming that when people are asking me all these questions is, how do I get clients? Number one, you actually have to do the footwork. You have to hit the ground running, actually go into these companies that you want to work with. So you need to figure out what companies work with whatever your brand is. If you're clothing, you need to figure out all these clothing companies. Okay, so there's Deacon's, there's Mr. Price, there's Woolworths, there's, I'm blanking right now, but anyways, there's all these stores. Like right now in Nairobi, we have so many stores, but a lot of these stores are all handled under one big company, which is Deacon's. So you just don't go to Mr. Price and be like, I want to promote your product. You actually have to go to Deacon's and speak to the marketing director there, because marketing directors are the ones with money, and then introduce yourself, because if they don't know that you exist, they're never going to hire you. So introducing yourself to clients and companies that you want to work with. Once you do that, you need to be able to create a proposal. Within the proposal, you have a profile about yourself where you talk about yourself, what you've done, what you do, any achievements that you have. And that has to be very short because you have to realize that they're going through a lot of profiles every single week. So they want to get straight to the point. So who you are, age, what you do, that type of thing, any achievements, and then you go straight into your stats. What are your numbers? What is the social media numbers? What are your YouTube numbers? What are your blogging numbers? How many people read your blog? Monthly, daily, your engagement level. How many comments do you get for every single photo that you post up? How many likes do you usually get? An average, like, it doesn't have to be the exact numbers, but like an average number. Then once you get past that, you need to have the actual proposal that you want to give them. What it is that you want to do for them. So let's say if I'm writing a proposal for Samsung and they have a new phone that's coming out that I like, let's say it's for the S8. So in the proposal section, I talk about the thing that I want to push, and then I would talk about how I'm going to like push it. So for example, the project that we did with Lyra last year was for the S7, and in my proposal I basically said, listen, a lot of people don't care about specs. Normal human beings don't care about specs. They care about whether or not it's pretty, if it takes good photos, and more importantly, is this phone waterproof, or at least that specific phone. So we did a full-on over-the-top underwater photo shoot, and that's a proposal that we gave them, and they were like, this is amazing, let's do it, and I hope that you can actually do this. So we did it, we nailed it, they loved it. And then outside of the proposal, you need to have your rate card. So that's basically how much you charge for every single post, every single blog post, YouTube video, Instagram post, Facebook post, and it all varies depending on people. Some people charge Instagram and Facebook as one thing. Other people do Instagram is this much, Twitter is this much, Facebook is this much. If you want to do all three, I can give you a package deal, but it's going to cost this much. If you want to do YouTube, YouTube will also come with one Instagram post, it's going to cost this much. So you need to figure out how much you are willing to get paid to do a certain job. So the best way to do that is I got an account with webfluential.com, and what they do is that they basically give you the stats of how much you should get paid in, I think, the US. Now, US pays really, really well. So whatever number that you see in the US, you might need to reduce that a significant amount for it to make sense in Kenya. Because most Kenyan companies are not going to pay you $4,000 for one Instagram post. They will not. So you have to cut that down a lot to actually make sense with the Kenyan market and how much they're willing to pay. Usually, if they're contacting me, I ask them what their budget is, and I'll let them know if it's possible. Because I have had situations where they're like, no, just send me a rate card. And I'm like, I'd rather just be told what the budget is, and then I figure out if I can make something work or if I can't. Like, let's not waste each other's times. So I like, if they're calling me, I just ask them, what's your budget? And I can tell you right here, right now, if I'm willing to do it. If they tell me a number that I'm like, that's not even humanly possible, that's not even one Instagram post, then I'll just tell them, sorry, no, because ... So the reason that I usually say no is, number one, if the price is too low, because you actually have to think about how much time you're going to spend to create one post. Each post, like for example, for me, I take with a professional camera, I have to take it myself, I have to edit it, and I have to post it. So I'm charging for the actual work, and I'm also charging for the number of people who are going to view the post. Same thing with videos. Sorry, that's a really loud car. But same thing with videos, same thing with everything else. You always have to look at how much work and how much time will it take for you to produce the product, and then you add in how, like, the actual engagement level and the number of people that are actually going to see it. Because you have to think about what you're doing is advertising. You're basically a billboard. You're a walking billboard. And so once you figure out your rate, you put that within the proposal, you take it to the client approves or disapproves. In Kenya, the biggest thing is that sometimes you might think that the client said no just because it's taken them so long to get back to you. Sometimes it's just, it's a long process for them to approve stuff and to get budget. So sometimes you can send out a proposal in January and then finally get the okay in April. That happens. Another thing when it comes to earning money within this industry, always know your worth, because if a company does not have to pay you, like if they know that they can get away with you working for them for free, they will do it. It's human nature that everybody's trying to save money. So always know your worth. If somebody's willing, if somebody wants you to work for free, you have to look at, is it worth it? Number one, is it actually going to propel my career or me as a brand in any way, shape, or form? If the answer is no to both, sometimes you just have to let it go and leave it to Jesus and just not do it. Another thing to also think about is working with companies that will always help you build your brand to be better. So there's certain companies or there's certain things that you can be offered to do, and they might pay you well or they might pay you ish, But if it's going to affect you in a negative way, I would highly suggest not doing it. I recently got a proposal to host a thing at a strip club. Yeah, that would hurt my brand. You know what I'm saying? And also, ladies, this is for you. Another thing to also think about is you have to think about a lot of Kenyan companies are very family friendly-ish, in that if your entire social media page is nothing but you wearing a thong, Kenya is not the same way that it is. I mean, Kenya doesn't work the same way that the US works. The US works in such a way where they're happy as long as you have the numbers. Even if your butt's showing, they don't care. They will hire you. In Kenya, if they feel that you do not fit their brand, if they're just like, she is always naked and we're a family brand, they will not hire you. And a majority of Kenyan companies are considered family brands. Now, I know you're also thinking that there are some people who have been able to make a living out of that, but think about the percentage. It's like 1 or 2 people who've actually been able to build their brand around that and have been able to do really well in that, but that is not a norm. It's not a norm. Same thing as a Kardashian thing. I even hate when people talk about this, like the sex tape that she had. To me, it's irrelevant because they build an empire out of something. I mean, point is, they were able to build an empire off of one mistake. But then ever since they did that, a lot of people started thinking, oh, if I put out a sex tape, I'll be able to do the same thing as the Kardashians and the Jenners have. No. I mean, they were literally like the one time that will ever work. Point is, be really smart about how you show yourself to the world, because that's what clients usually tend to look at. Do they go with our company? Another thing, figuring out your voice, what makes you different from somebody else. Because I usually get a lot of things where people are like, I want to be just like you. And always my response is, why do you want to be like me? I'm already there. Be your own, like, bomb version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if if there is already a me and a client is looking to hire me, why would they hire somebody else that's like me? You get what I'm saying? So like a majority of us bloggers, at least established ones, we are all very different. We all have different styles, different vibe, different voices, different body types, different skin tones. Like, we all very different. Nancy Shilandida, Sylvia Njoki, Sharon from This Is Us, Patricia Kihoro, Miss Mandy, I'm forgetting so many people, Susan Wong. Like, we're all very different and we all give different things. Tatiana Karaja, like, we all offer different things. So find something that's different from everybody else. Why do you want to be the same thing? Whether if it's just something as simple as your body type. That is so huge. I already talked about this before, but learning how to do everything yourself personally works for me. It's really, really helpful, just because if you have to deliver a project, there's no reason for you not to be able to, just because the camera guy's not available. Learn how to do everything yourself, and also save up as much as you can, even if that means that you have to work somewhere else. I worked at a mining company. I worked at KTN. I was an intern there for a little bit. I've worked in production, I've written scripts, I've worked behind the scenes. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do to make your money. And every time I do that, I would save up money and buy my own equipment. And if you are gonna go into a company to speak to somebody about possibly working to them, the person that you wanna ask for is a marketing director. Marketing directors have money. Not the managers, not the, well, owner. If you can actually get access to the owner, depending on what company it is, talk to the owner. But if it's a huge company, let's say if it's Safaricom, just talk to a marketing director, because you're not going to go all the way to the top. You're going to have to just meet somebody who, can help you out with possible jobs. But also another thing that you need to realize, a lot of these huge companies work within agencies. So also going to agencies and talking to them. Agencies like Bean, Scanned, I'm forgetting all the others. But yes, Google it. Google agencies in Nairobi. Go to those agencies, introduce yourself, and then leave a proposal there with your profile, and hopefully that could come up with a job eventually. So I think that is something, I think that's all I can think of for right now. How do you take your own photos? I'm going to do a post on that to actually show how it is that I do that. Everything from how I set up the camera to taking the photos and editing. And I hope that will be helpful. And at least I'll try to make it as simple as humanly possible. So yeah, I think those are all the questions that I have time for at this exact moment in time. I gotta get back with my life. Anyway, so thank you all for stopping by. I will see you guys in today's Monday, which means the next post should be going up on Wednesday. Wee! And that one I've already edited, so it's actually gonna be on time. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I love your faces. Bye.